It was a sunny day at the beach. Children were laughing, running, and playing games. There was a party with music and cake. But not everyone was invited. Two boys stood far from the party. They were not wearing fancy clothes. They didn't bring gifts. That's why they were left out. They looked sad and confused. Later, the boys asked, "Why are some kids always rich and some always poor?" This question is not only for kids. Many adults wonder the same thing every day. One of the boys had a father who worked hard every day but always had money problems. The father gave simple advice: just make more money. The other boy's father wasn't rich yet, but he owned small businesses and thought in a different way. He said, learning about money is more important than working more. This started a new journey for the boys. Could learning about money really change their lives? Is there a path that helps people escape money worries forever? The two boys wanted to learn more, so they started spending time with the rich dad. He did not believe only in school learning. He wanted them to learn by doing. Rich Dad gave them a job in one of his small stores. Each Saturday, the boys worked 3 hours. They cleaned shelves and moved boxes. It was hard and boring work. Poor Dad believed that hard work and a good job were the way to success. Rich Dad believed learning about money and using your brain were more important. After some time, one of the boys wanted to quit. He felt he was not learning anything. He also thought the pay was too small for the work he was doing every week. Rich Dad met him and explained the reason. He said feeling unhappy was part of the lesson. Most people want more money instead of learning new ideas. He told the boys that if they wanted to be rich, they first had to understand how life and money work. Jobs do not always teach this. Real life can be a better teacher. Poor Dad said to ask for more money or stop working. But Rich Dad wanted the boys to learn to think. He believed jobs often stop people from using their mind. To teach more, Rich Dad stopped paying them. Now, the boys worked for nothing. This made them think more and look for chances to learn in new ways. Soon, they started to see how most people work for money all their lives. Rich Dad helped them understand that real power comes from knowing how money moves. After they stopped getting paid, the boys began to think in a new way. Money was not the goal anymore. They started to see money as a tool to be used. Rich Dad said fear and desire control many people. Fear of not having enough or desire to buy new things makes people work hard without true freedom. He told the boys that money should not control them. They should learn to control money. That is the first step to becoming rich and free in life. Rich Dad explained that many people chase money without asking why. They get jobs, work many years, and still feel worried or tired about money problems. He said this happens because they do not look at how they feel about money. Some are afraid to lose it, others always want more. This leads to a cycle. This cycle is called the rat race. People work, earn money, and spend it fast. Then they need to work again. To escape, people must first change how they think. Rich Dad said the best way to learn is by doing. He asked the boys to watch for a good idea. Soon they saw something. Kids loved reading comic books. They collected old comic books from the store and started a small comic book library. Other kids paid money to read as many comics as they liked. They paid Mike's sister to be the librarian. Each week, they made much more than before. They had started to make money without working for a boss. The comic library worked well for some time. The boys made money by using their idea. They were not paid by someone else. They earned from a system. But one day, the comic library had a problem. A fight broke out, and they had to close it. Still, the boys learned a big lesson from the experience. Rich Dad was happy. He said the boys had now learned how to make money work for them. That was more important than any lesson in school. The boys asked Rich Dad how to become rich. He said the first rule is simple. Know the difference between an asset and a liability. Rich Dad said an asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money away. Most people think things like houses or cars are assets, but they are not always. Many people buy more things when they earn more. But if they buy liabilities, they still lose money each month. That is why just making more money is not enough. Rich Dad showed a small drawing with arrows. One arrow went into a box called asset, and one arrow went out of a box called liability. It made things clear. He told the boys to buy more assets first. These can be houses for rent, books you write, or even a small business. These give money without working. A good asset helps you pay bills. A bad liability makes your bills bigger. That is why smart people focus on growing their assets, not just spending more. The boys learned that people often get into money trouble because they do not understand this simple rule. They keep buying goods that do not make money. Even when people get jobs with more pay, they often spend more. They buy bigger homes, better cars, and new clothes, but their money problems stay. Rich Dad said, if you're not careful, you will always work to pay for things instead of letting things pay for you. That is not a smart way to live. He shared that true wealth is not about how much money you make. It's about how long you can live without working, using the money your assets bring in. If your assets make enough to cover your needs, you are rich. It does not mean having a lot of money, but having enough to stop working if needed. The boys saw that financial freedom comes when your money works for you. Then you can choose to work or not. That is the goal of understanding money. Rich Dad warned them that many people lose money fast when they don't know about assets and liabilities. This is why some lottery winners go broke. He said that without money knowledge, big money can become a big problem. People may buy a lot, but not know how to keep or grow their wealth. The boys now knew that learning about money was not just about getting rich. It was also about safety. Knowledge helps you keep and grow your money. After learning about assets, Rich Dad gave a new idea. He said, mind your own business. This does not mean having a company. It means building your money path. Most people only grow their job life. They work for someone else and help that person grow rich. But Rich Dad said, you should work for your future too. He told the boys to start building their asset column. That means they should collect things that bring money, not just spend all they earn at their jobs. Rich Dad said your job gives money to live, but your business builds wealth. Your job pays the bills, but your assets help you stop working one day. He said to use your job to help your business dream. Start small. Buy something that earns money. Over time, you will see your money grow alone. You can keep your job while building assets after work. That way, you're safe and still growing your money. This is smart and helps you feel more free. Some assets Rich Dad liked were houses for rent, small stocks, and books or music you create. These things bring money even when you are not working. He said when your asset column grows, your money grows without a boss. Soon, the work you do for yourself makes more than your job from others. This is why ownership is better than just working. When you own something that earns, it makes money while you rest. That is real financial power. Rich Dad gave an example of McDonald's. Most think it sells burgers, but Rich Dad said its real business is land. The company owns land in many places. That land brings McDonald's much more money than food. They earn rent from people who use or build on that land. This is a smart use of assets. It showed the boys how ideas can bring wealth. You don't always need new jobs. You need a smart way to use what you have and grow it over time. After learning about your own business, Rich Dad gave another lesson. He started talking about taxes and how they affect different people in different ways. He said taxes were first created to get money from rich people. But over time, the middle class started paying the biggest part of taxes, not the rich. Rich people use companies to help them pay less tax. They do it by knowing the rules. This is why learning about the system is a smart move. Rich Dad said poor and middle people earn money, pay taxes, then spend what is left. The rich use companies to spend first, then pay tax on less money. This way, smart people pay fewer taxes even if they make more money. They use rules most people don't know or try to learn about. That is why Rich Dad believed in knowing the rules. If you don't, you lose money. But if you do, the rules can protect you and save your money. Rich Dad explained that a company is not just a big office. It can be a simple paper that shows your business is real, even if it is very small. With this paper, you can pay for things your business uses before tax. This helps you grow your work and pay less, just like big businesses do. He told the boys not to be scared. Learning takes time, but anyone can understand. Reading books, asking questions, and trying ideas all help. Rich Dad said real power comes when you mix knowledge with action. Learning is good, but using that learning is what really brings money. He shared how using the law in smart ways helps you keep more money and grow faster. It is not cheating, just knowing how things work. The boys now saw that building wealth was not just about working hard. It was about learning the game and playing it better than others. Rich Dad gave one more important message. He said your brain is your best tool. It can be used to make or lose money depending on how you use it. He said many people work very hard, but that is not enough. If you don't think well or learn new ideas, you will always work for others. He wanted the boys to grow their minds. When your ideas are strong, money can follow. Rich Dad said money follows smart thinking, not hard work alone. After learning about taxes and smart thinking, Rich Dad talked about work again. He said, work to learn, not just to earn. This idea was new to the boys. He said many people work only for money, but the smart ones look for jobs where they can learn important skills like selling, speaking, or leading people well. Rich Dad told them to find work that teaches. Selling and marketing are very strong skills. With these, a person can do better in business and many parts of life. Rich Dad shared a story. A good writer asked how to sell more books. He said, take a class on sales. The writer was surprised because she thought writing was enough. But Rich Dad said, knowing how to write is one skill. Selling the book is a different skill. Both are needed to bring success in many areas of work or business. The boys understood more now. People often have one skill and think it is enough. But learning many things makes you stronger in the world of money and jobs. Rich Dad warned about 4 big problems that stop people: fear, doubt, laziness, and bad habits. He said even smart people can fall if they let these grow. Fear makes people stop before they start. Doubt comes from hearing too much negative talk. Laziness hides behind staying busy without doing important work. Many people say, I can't do it, before trying. Rich Dad wanted the boys to turn their fear into a question, what can I try? This kind of thinking opens new paths. He also said that people should build strong habits. A smart habit is to pay yourself first, not last. This means saving or investing before spending on other things. Most people pay bills, rent, or buy food first. Then there is no money left to grow. But Rich Dad said habit is stronger than fear or worry. You must choose the right one. Good habits make you act smarter each day. They help you make better choices. The boys saw this and knew they had to grow the right habits for their future. Another key idea was to take small risks. Rich Dad said people are scared to lose money, but even rich people lose money sometimes. The real power is to keep going. He wanted the boys to take smart chances. If you never try, you never learn. If you lose a little, you still learn. That is better than fear and doing nothing at all. Rich Dad's way showed that mistakes can be good teachers. When you try something and it fails, you learn. That is one of the fastest ways to grow in life. Rich Dad said many people never learn the truth about money. They go to school, get a job, and think that is all they need. But learning about money never stops. He said making money is like a subject in school, but most schools do not teach it. So people grow up without knowing how to be smart with their money. Just working hard is not enough. Many people earn a lot but still live with money problems. Rich Dad said learning about money is the real answer to these problems. Rich Dad said being rich is not about luck. It is from learning, trying, and making smart money choices. Anyone can start learning at any age and grow their money skills. He shared that many parents don't know about money and cannot teach it to their kids. So, the same money problems move from one family to the next. Rich Dad called this money poverty passed on. But he also said one smart person in a family can stop it by learning about money and teaching the rest. Understanding money begins with being curious. Ask questions like, where does my money go? Or, what happens if I save or invest instead of spend? Rich Dad said always be open to learning. You can read books, talk to smart people, or try small money steps. Each action helps you understand money better. He believed real change comes slowly but grows strong. Money knowledge is not fast or easy, but it is the key to building a better and safer future for you and your family.